Excuse me, Chairman Dempsey, I have great respect for you and your service to the country and the important role that you play. But I have to ask you about the interview that you gave with CNN, because I need to understand it. When you were asked by Fareed Zakaria about what we were counseling our Israeli partners with respect to Iran, and you said that you were counseling them not to attack Iran, and then you also said that you believed that the administration believes, I assume, that the Iranian regime is a rational actor. Can you help me understand, why you would have said that, particularly in a public interview about one of our closest allies? And I'm really concerned that in doing that, that we're sending the wrong signal to Iran. Can you help me with that?
No, thanks. Actually, thanks for asking, Senator, and you beat Senator Graham to the punch. No, honestly, I want to clear up some things. First of all, I didn't counsel Israel not to attack. We've had a conversation with them about time, the issue of time, and that will require a much longer conversation. But on the issue of rationality, look, I agree that Iran is a regime that is dangerously misguided. And I mean, look at its behavior. It protects itself, it loathes its neighbors, it interferes with its neighbors, it threatens its neighbors, and it disregards its own citizens. So, none of that is acceptable to us or to our way of thinking and of our way of being rational, but it does fit their pattern of thinking and a 30-year history of conduct. So my view of this is we can't afford to underestimate our potential adversaries by writing them off as irrational. That's kind of the juxtaposition of the phrase. And I personally don't mistake Iran's rhetoric for a lack of reason. I think the issue here for us all is that we have to decide what global pressure, including the use of force if and when necessary, can turn that regime away from its nuclear ambitions, its nuclear weapons ambitions. So thanks for letting me clear that up.
But as I understand your testimony, you wouldn't take force as an option off the table.
Absolutely not.
And one of the things I'm concerned about when you think about with the description as the way it came across in the interview with CNN as describing Iran as a rational actor is this issue that if they acquire a nuclear weapon, it's not just about their using it, but also the possibility they are a great state sponsor of terrorism, that they could provide that nuclear weapon to let others use it on their behalf. Is that not a real risk with Iran?
That is a real risk, as is the risk of nuclear proliferation among others who, feeling threatened, would seek to acquire their own nuclear weapons.
And I think when we hear those types of possibilities, we've just heard today that that is a real risk if Iran acquires a nuclear weapon, that most of us think that can't be a rational act from our perspective of terms of looking at it and the world and the number of innocent lives that could be lost if a terrorist group acquires a nuclear weapon and Iran provides it to a terrorist group. You would agree with me that I understand that maybe by their calculations it's rational, but by ours it would not be.
I think that's exactly the point. And as we seek to influence their behavior, we have to understand their way of thinking. That was the only point I was making.